Let's talk about the spiritual development of students. One of the reasons that you've signed on to be a volunteer with Youth Unlimited is that you truly believe that the spiritual part of their life is essential. It's not just an extra, it's not just an option, but it's something that is part of all of us. And as God has made us and called us to himself, you believe that he's calling all of these young people to himself. And you want to find a way to make a bridge between them and God. Your relationship is that bridge. Your relationship with them and your relationship to God are two essential things in bringing the young people that we work with steps closer to seeing the face of Jesus for themselves. You need to understand, though, that your role is an adult friend who knows Jesus well. You're not a teacher, you're not a counselor, you're not even a pastor, but you're someone who's willing to walk with them as they begin to discover what it means to walk with Jesus. The best way that you can do that is by demonstrating a living and active relationship with your Lord. If things aren't happening between you and God, then having the conversations with kids about God is not going to be a natural part of your relationship. When Jesus first called the disciples, he called them first to come before he called them to go. And we have to recognize that's God's first call on our lives as well. So when you're looking towards spiritual development with the students that you work with, think about it in these terms. Think about something that's really important in your life that you think is just great. Maybe it's a new app on your phone, or maybe it's that you've suddenly discovered the Mac computer and the whole Apple world, and you suddenly just find yourself telling everybody about it because it's really made a difference in your life. That's what it looks like to talk to kids about Jesus. That's what it looks like to offer them opportunities to check out, to see, to experience what has made a difference in your life. Spiritual development of kids is a big part of what we do, and it's part of the big picture of what we do as well, because we care holistically for young people, and we realize that if we don't care about what happened at school today, they won't care to hear about the Jesus that we know is involved in what happened in their life. We have to realize that caring for the whole person is a pathway, is part of the experience of being a good friend. And we have to realize that being a great friend means also introducing them to Jesus. On the pathway towards caring for young people, we also need to realize that caring for ourselves is a really important thing too. Sometimes it can be really easy to get consumed by the needs of the young people that you work with and to get a little bit lost in all of their issues. Their world starts to become your world. Their concerns start to become things that weigh you down. If that begins to happen, what has gone on is that you have moved away from the position of caring as if you understood their situation, as if you were them, and you begin to fall into the same pit that they're into. There's not a lot of help that you can give kids if you are burnt out and tired and overdone yourself. Learning to say no, learning that it's okay to protect things in your world, that's all part of being a mature adult friend. It's a great example to kids when you can show them what it looks like to say, I would love to talk with you and to hear about that, but I've already had 4 conversations with you this week about it, and now I need to spend some time in these other places. So I'm looking forward to talking with you next week more about that. Let's talk on Tuesday. That's a great way to set a boundary and to say, I really care, but I also care about more things in my life. There's a lot of a guilt that can come on us when we see how bad a kid's life is or how many issues they have, and we think, well, maybe I need to help them with this, and then I could possibly do that. And we begin to forget that we're actually not the Savior. Taking on a Savior complex means that you begin to believe that they need you to be able to get out of the things in their life. The reality is, Jesus is there with them, and he's inviting you to be part of what he's doing. And he is doing things. He's doing things in kids' lives that we can't even imagine. And we get to come along. If we carry the burden for being responsible for the changes or the healing in their life, that burden is possibly something that is going to push us away from the kids rather than pull us towards them. We need to step into their lives with Jesus. We need to step into their lives following Jesus and recognize that he is the resource that they need. He is the Savior that they need, and he is the one who is in front of us, reaching out to them first and inviting us to come along. That really sucked.